Hey everybody, this is Oli Cardle, Freeletics ambassador from the UK.
Hey everybody, this is Angelo, Freeletics from United States.
Yeah, for anybody who's listening to the podcast, Angelo pointed to the word ambassador because that only works on video.
Because
Welcome. Yes,
I'm a four times ambassador of Freeletics United States.
4 times. Okay, good start. Welcome to the Shaped by Gods podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Shaped by Gods podcast. It is me, Oli, and Angelo. We are back for another episode. I think we're on episode 30. I'm losing track now. We got so many of these under our belt. It's exciting.
13.
We've got loads of them.
Lucky 13 today.
Lucky 13. Lucky for Sam. How's your week been, my friend? How's your week been?
It was a tough week. Work, a lot of work, studies, and many things.
Don't forget work.
Oh yeah, yesterday I was working. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's some sort of coincidence, but I've noticed just across the board, people are so busy right now. People are just completely snowed under with all sorts of things. I can relate to that. It's been work and chaos for me. I've had a very eventful week. I was going to talk to you about it before we started recording, but I thought I'd save it so I could see what your reaction is.
Oh my God.
So,
what happened?
Well, I mean, it was, I can't remember if, I think I've spoke to you since the car died. So on my way home from work it must have been last Monday, the drive shaft snapped in half on the car, which meant I had to then run to school to get the kids from school because it was just before school. And when I got back to the car, there was a parking fine on the window. So anyway, that was the beginning of all my trouble. So I decided to get my push bike, my bicycle from my brother's house, and I've been cycling to work. And so Monday this week, I get up at 5 a.m. and I get on my bike, and I get to a point on my journey where there's quite a steep hill, but it's a dip, so I have to go down a hill in order to go back up the other side. So I tried to get up as much speed as I possibly could going down the hill. And then I thought perhaps I'll be safer on the curb rather than on the sidewalk rather than on the road. And I misjudged the curb, and I hit the curb at the wrong angle. I flew into a wall. I went straight into a wall at about 20 miles an hour, and
Jesus.
I ended up, I hit my head on the wall, but I had my helmet on, and then I went over the handlebars, and I ended up scraping along the floor with my head up, trying not to hit my chin on the floor like a penguin on ice.
Man, this is insane.
And this was at 5 a.m. So I got up and looked around. Nobody saw me. I hit my knees on the floor quite badly, and my bike, the chain was off, and I thought everything was all bent out of shape. The pedal was bent out of shape, and it wasn't until I got back on. I thought I'm going to have to start walking because the chain was off, but I managed to get the chain back on. And it wasn't until I realized that the podcast I was listening to on the way had stopped. I didn't realize then. I thought I'd better check my phone. So I checked my phone and it was smashed to pieces.
Oh my God.
This was only the fourth or fifth time I've ridden that bike since I bought it new. Which was, I bought it a few years ago, but it had to go into storage because I moved.
Not new anymore.
No, it's not the same shape as it was on this time last week. It's a different shape now. It's been a crazy week, man. I mean, these things just keep happening. But I mean, it's been busy, and I haven't let it slow me down and stop progress. And
Mhm.
actually, it was about, it probably took 5 seconds after the incident, let's call it the incident, before I was laughing at how funny it must have looked, because I was coming down the hill so fast at about 30 miles an hour. I thought, I'm going to move onto the pavement, so I'm off the road nice and safe. And the raised part of the pavement was slightly to the left where I thought it should have been, and I hit the curb, and I hit that wall so hard. It was so good. So that was
But how do you
me.
feel now? You didn't hit anywhere, right? You okay now?
I'm okay. I mean, I could feel that my hand must have gone down, because if I put pressure on my hand, it's quite sore. And my
Yeah.
knee was the worst thing that it hit. But at the same time, that evening I managed to get my workout done without any issue. But when I was sat at work for a long time with my legs still, as soon as I started moving it again, it started to cause me a little bit of trouble. But if I'm on it, I cycled back in the next day. It was fine. But it was a lesson learned. And the silly thing was, there was nobody around. It was all me. It was all me. Nothing caused that apart from my last minute decision to hit the pavement rather than stay on the road. And I mean, if you ask Jim Carrey to crash a bike for comedy purposes, that's exactly what it would have looked like. I just smashed it into the wall and ended up flying over the handlebars. So that's the beginning of my week. It's been eventful. It's been full on. I'm up at 5 a.m. I'm cycling to work, cycling back home at 2 p.m. to get the girls from school at 3 o'clock. But what I have managed to do, I've managed to keep up on top of things. As tiring as it has been, I know, what it does to me if I don't manage to get my workouts in. So I've managed to, whether or not it's been late night. Also, it was my brother and my niece's birthday over the weekend as well. So we baked some cakes. Chloe and I, we baked some cakes. Took those around the next day. So it's been just eventful. Baking cakes takes a longer time than you'd expect as well.
Yeah,
We decorated them really nice. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. So anyway, that's my little incident. I'd like to do a reconstruction at some point so I can do it some justice. But yeah, I mean, the crack on my phone, there's one crack that goes right down the middle of the camera. So it's called, yeah, stupid boy. Right. So anyway,
it's okay. At least you are okay, man. And thank God you were wearing you are wearing a helmet. Many people don't, and they need to understand that wearing helmet is a must. No matter what. It's not about you have to look good. You have to look sexy when you're driving the bike, when you're riding the bike. You have to protect yourself, because it takes one mistake and you can smash your head on the ground, and then you can have like a way worse things in your life.
I mean, I'm at peace with how stupid I look in that helmet, but
I don't even care about it.
Exactly. I'd have looked a lot more stupid if I hadn't been wearing it. I'd have had a very flat face, I think, because I hit that wall quite hard. Wear a helmet, guys, because it was the first thing that impacted anything was my head on this wall. It wasn't a brick wall. It was a temporary like a temporary wooden board. But still, if that had been my head and not the helmet, then I don't think I would have been in work that day. But anyway, so let's catch up. Let's catch up with our Freeletics. We've started these journeys together. I know you've been very, very busy lately, so it's been tough keeping on top of these things. I've only just been able to do it by starting it at 10 p.m. and just forcing myself through it, which can be quite unsociable in a way, because obviously I get the whole day where I'm at work, and then we put the children to bed. But by 8:30, that's the only time Chloe and I have together. So I mean, she's gotten used to me jumping around in front of her while she watches the TV. I'll tell you what. Let's address that a little bit in a minute. So something that was a big thing for me with Freeletics, I remember the very first time when we first started, when I first started doing Freeletics, something that was a massive deal for me was the idea of doing what I was doing, because I knew I wanted to do it, and I knew, you know, I didn't have the space to take myself away somewhere. So for a long time, I could have been in the lounge, which was the biggest space, doing it. But I wasn't ready to do that in front of Chloe at that point, my partner. So I was in hallways and tiny little gaps. So it does make me wonder sometimes how many people that we speak to are still at that stage in their journey where, yes, they've made that decision to put the work in, do the exercise, but having people see that they're doing that is still uncomfortable. And I guess it's very similar to when you go to the gym. Some people are put off going to the gym because they are intimidated almost by the stage that other people are at in their journeys. It's quite a unique thing with Freeletics because you are on your own, but we also have the community. So whether or not you know, public make your efforts public and you advertise what you're doing, there is that option to not share what you're doing. You know, you can just log the workout, and you see a lot of free athletes that might have been doing it for a few years that don't have many followers because it's almost like they're in stealth mode. Can you remember when you first started doing your Freeletics, did you do yours with Julie straight away, or was that, you know, because sometimes she does her exercise with you, but do you ever, I've seen you guys working out together quite a lot, which is really cool. That takes something special, I think.
Yeah, especially today. Especially today's workout, because it was a huge thing to do the workout, because we lost you know, our bunny yesterday. And
sorry to hear that, mate.
Yeah, man, thank you. And it was very tough, you know, going to work out the day after. Of course, we didn't work out yesterday after what happened, and today it was a little tough, you know, to push each other, but it was amazing. Yeah, just we're pushing each other. Julie had the power today to push both of us and to do the workout. But you asked me when I started Freeletics.
Yeah.
So when I started Freeletics, I used to do it all alone, because it was the first time in my life was doing these kind of exercises, you know, burpees and whatever, burpees and all the rest of the stuff in Freeletics. And I felt like I'm gonna look weird to the other people when I'm gonna do this kind of exercise, because I never saw anybody else doing this kind of stuff. So I started working out alone, like in the house. I used to go to the gym. Like after I started Freeletics, I started going to the gym and I was doing just weights. And I was always having in my mind, because to do my Freeletics on at the gym, so I can, you know, take advantage of the weights and also do Freeletics at the same time, you know, for everything, for extra push. And at the gym, it was like a big area. You could do like your cardio, you could do, you know, stretching, you could do whatever, like meditation, you could do whatever. And I was always looking at that space. So I was always thinking, oh, what the people are going to say about me, what the people are going to say, they're going to start looking at whatever, this and that. And back then I started Freeletics with a friend. And I suggested him. I said to him the time we went to the gym. I say, man, wanna do Freeletics? Wanna do over there at the corner Freeletics? And I felt more brave to do it because I was with somebody else. And my friend said, yeah, let's go do it. And we did Freeletics, and I'll never forget how it was Athena, I think, or Metis. I don't know. I think it was Metis because of the burpees. And we were doing Metis in the corner, and I'll never forget how the whole gym was looking.
Really?
What we were doing, the whole gym, everybody was looking, everybody, because we're down, we're doing burpees, we're jumping, going crazy, and you know, we're out of breath and everything. And I felt really bad because everybody was looking.
Bad. You felt bad.
Yeah, I felt like you feel like you're the center of the attention, you know, everybody's looking like, you don't know, you're doing something wrong now, you're doing something like because you want to show off, or you're doing something that they feel fear that they don't do it, and maybe you just you make them feel bad for themselves because it's something, something advanced and different. And it was a little weird experience. But after that, I did it again and again, and then I think that's how I conquered the thing of having somebody around to do Freeletics. Yeah, repetition. Yeah.
There must be a point that you get to. I mean, it probably is a gradual thing where you gradually build that confidence in that and develop that ability to share. It's not even sharing, it's being able to go into your own mind and block everyone else out and just get what you came there to do done. And I think for me it took a long time to share, to start doing any exercise like that in front of people. Like you said, for a while during my Freeletics, so since when I started Freeletics, I did start going to the gym for a while. And like you said, in there, you would generally stick to the weights and just do, things that people in the gym were doing. But I think it took a long time for me to get to a point where I was happy to do the exercise with Chloe. So for example, I didn't necessarily want to be locking myself away at that time to do the exercise. I wanted to do the exercise, but at the same time, I didn't want to be missing out on time that I was sharing with Chloe. So if I could get to a point where I could spend that time with her and she was okay with the fact that I was just jumping around like a nutcase, jumping around the lounge, that way we can still have that time. Although, I mean, even now, sometimes if I've got pull-ups in my workout, I'm in the hallway because that's where the pull-up bar is. But if I haven't, then I'll set the mat up in front of her. And to be honest, to her credit, she's got to the point where she can still watch the shows that we're watching together without this, this me in her side vision doing burpees every now and then, laughing at the show we're watching. So I'm basically watching TV doing burpees, and she knows I can't sit still. So the amount of times I promised we'll sit down and watch a film tonight, and 10 minutes later I'm doing burpees. It's so stupid. But I do think there is a point. I think there is a point where whether it's when you start seeing your own transformation, whether that is when you start getting the confidence. I think that might be what it is. When you start seeing progress, and for me, when I started seeing progress, I didn't need to reach my goals or my target. I just needed to see that it was working, and that made me think this is going to work if I keep going. If I could just see that it was working a little bit, then I knew, right, if I keep going, it's going to keep working. It wasn't like, this is as far as my body's going to change because I've done a little bit of exercise and this is what I look like now. For me, as soon as it started to show signs that it was working, that for me was like, bang, this is working. I'm going to keep going. And I think it got to a point with me with Freeletics where, I mean, at first I would comfortably do it at home in front of Chloe. Then I got to a point where I was happily go out into the drive, into the drive outside my house, and I would do it there with knowing full well that all the neighbors could see what I was doing, and then people that were walking past, that didn't bother me either, and I was able to go into that zone and not worry about what was going on around me. And then it got to a point where I kind of wanted people to see what I was doing. I wanted that to be potentially someone else discovering Freeletics. Someone come along and say, "Hey, what are you doing? This is crazy. You look like you're kicking your own ass." I was like, "I am kicking my own ass, yeah, and it's it's actually really healthy for me." For me, it got to a point even where I started going to boxing training, which that was quite intimidating for me because I was never someone who was quite easily walk into a group of people I didn't know, let alone walk into a group of people I didn't know who were smacking each other in the face, So it got to a point where I would go to there, and if all at one point they would tell you to get on the heavy bag, but if all there were times where it was too busy for everyone to have a heavy bag, so I thought, okay, I'll skip boxing training tonight. You guys can have the bag, and I would take myself off into the corner and start doing Freeletics. So I definitely think it gets to a point when you can see that it's working, or you feel the confidence in what you are doing itself, rather than just the confidence in yourself, if the confidence in what you are doing and what that's going to do for you and how that improves everything, once you get that confidence, you almost want to share it. You want to get caught. You almost want to get caught doing it. Now it's a little bit different where I live now, because I literally live in a block of, I think the youngest person other than my family is probably about 70 or 80 years old. So when I'm out, you know, is it Callisto, where it's bear walks and crab walks? Yeah, that one. If I'm doing that in the hallway and they come out, they think it's a scene from a horror movie where there's this weird guy crawling around the hall. Like, what are you doing? I don't even know where to start explaining that to that generation of people. So I just try to stay in shape, you know. But yeah, I think it depends on where you get caught. I have been caught downstairs in the driveway before by the old lady that lives downstairs, and she looked quite scared. She quickly shut her door and went away. It was crazy. So
I wanna say something on what you said. When you found out, when you saw that it is working for you, that's a big thing for many people. Why sometimes they quit, or sometimes they don't even start, because in the beginning, like that day when I did with my friend, met us at the gym and everybody was looking, it made me feel like bad, like I'm different, you know. When everybody's looking somebody, you know, you're getting the attention of everybody for some reason. Like you do something different, you do something new, you do something weird, or I don't know. So many people, and like you said, if you see is working for yourself, I think you should stick to this, like it's working for yourself, you know. Because sometimes in the past, when I used to live with family members, right? I was coming from work like late at night, and they used to be, and I'm staying with the family members, because man, family members are the first ones. They're gonna cut your wings and they're not gonna let you fly. The very first ones. So because it's the ones that they raise you and you live, I mean, a huge part of your life, the first one, the most important one with them. So when I was coming back from work, they were telling me like, I was coming like 10, 11 o'clock, and I didn't do my workout in the morning because I was studying, and I was going for workout, and were telling me, what are you going to do your workout now? I said, okay, just do it tomorrow morning. And I was like, no, tomorrow morning I have to study. She said, yeah, but you're just tired. It's okay. Just go to bed, you know, just relax, take your shower and relax, you know, just rest. Then I was like, no, maybe. And the next day or another days, they were telling me, why did you come with us over here? Let's have fun, you know, let's sit down and eat, and then whatever. Then the next time was the same thing. There is a show on TV. Just want to watch it together. Just, you know, it's like 11 o'clock the show, you know, you're gonna miss it and all this kind of stuff. So it was always something was coming out, you know. It was too late, you're gonna get tired, you go to rest, is better, just come with the food or whatever. Every single time, if I was skipping for those reasons, I would never be wherever I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this heavy shirt, for example. Yes,
you can't expect, I mean, obviously you didn't expect, but you can't expect everyone to have that understanding, because it's a realization that not many people have. That if I put this effort in and do this hard work every day, then it's going to be good for me. It's going to be really good for me. But I think 99% of people, once they get home from a long day at work, the only thing they want to do is rest, or they almost treat themselves to doing nothing, you know. So I'll finish work now, bang, nothing. And it's the same applies to a lot of people's attitude towards the weekend. So, you know, you work Monday to Friday, you finish on a Friday night, and then all you're really doing is just wasting time until you're back at work again. But you use that as your rest time, which for me, that's my me time. That's the little chance I get. I mean, obviously when I'm at work, I work on myself as well. I try and be better, but I can really focus during my time on improving my situation. And we both know the only way to improve your situation is by working on yourself. The situation
you need to work on yourself, no matter what they say. That's what I mean, that's what I want to get my point out. It's just every single time when I was saying no, it's okay, I'm gonna do my workout, even if it's too late. It was 11 o'clock at night, man, and I had a workout that is going to last for an hour, and then I was taking shower at 12, and I was sleeping at 12:30, and it was worth it every single time, because from overweight, not fit, and so many things. And it's not just you improving your body and everything, you shaping your mind too. And again, this shirt is very heavy because you got all the weight from whatever I did. And I'm not to be offensive for somebody that is not an ambassador of Freeletics. You can be ambassador of your mind. You can be ambassador of your life, ambassador of everything. I'm just saying, it's just when you try hard, you're gonna get like such an outcome, over time, what you deserve of your efforts and actions. And the only person you need to listen to yourself, to listen, is yourself, as long as you're right, of course, right? You can say, jump over the cliff and, I'm gonna listen to myself and I'm gonna jump. It's just keep pushing and do it no matter what.
If you want to be really safe, the only people you need to listen to is yourself and your wife. So when you said about, you get these outside influences coming in saying, oh, look, you've just had a long day at work. They try and apply their attitude to your life. So look, you've had a long day at work. Why don't you just relax, just chill, chill out, eat some of this, we're going to sit down and eat. But I think what a lot of people fail to realize is I'm not happy with the situation I'm in. I'm not happy with the condition I'm in, and I'm addressing that. And the things you're telling me to do right now, those are what led to where I am. So unless I change those things, I'm not going to improve. So it's applying your old routines and your old lifestyle is only going to result in the same lifestyle you were trying to get away from, the same results that you're trying to get away from. And it does take a lot for people to understand, because unless you've had that realization, unless you've had that moment where you've gone, because people can spend a lot of time saying, I really should do this exercise, or I really should watch my diet, but should doesn't work, because you're just not doing it. You don't do it, and it's until you have that moment in your brain where I am doing this, and I need to change it. I've changed it, and it's changed. Done. That's it. I'm a new person now. So it's quite rare for people to have that actual moment where, people exercising because they should. That's not going to work. That's not going to last for a long time. I think there was a time when I was considering going down the personal trainer route as far as a career was concerned, but I soon realized that what the difficulty in that is the amount of time you have to spend trying to convince people who don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because some people aren't there yet. Some people never get there. Some people get there after a long time. But until you're at that point where this is happening, I'm doing this no matter what, you tend to fluctuate and fall off, and that's the difficult thing. And what happens is, we in the UK we had this term that was coined called cake culture, and basically what that means was, if you go to work, what would happen is someone would bring in some cakes, or someone would bring in some biscuits, and it would be normal to sit there all day and everyone join in with the cakes. Everyone, I bought a round of cakes in so everyone can have a cake. And then if you were the one person who said, no, I'm not going to eat that, I'm really watching my calories and my food intake, and that's not really the sort of food. There was a culture where you would be pressured into, oh, come on, don't be so boring, it's only a bit of cake, one won't hurt, and there was this pressure where you would be made to feel bad if you didn't want to eat something. But you can't force people to eat something they don't want to eat, And it's the same with exercise. And I find it difficult at things like birthday parties and things like that, where there's cake, and usually it's the same sort of food that's on the table. You know, it's birthday party food, especially if it's for a kid or something like that. And if you're the one person there who's not joining in because, you know, you've got your diet under control, and you think, okay, I'm gonna have my oats, and I'm gonna have my chicken, and, you know, all that sort of stuff, you're considered to be boring, and you're a bit of a, you know, you can't even take one day off. You say, well, it's not really, that's not the mindset I'm in. You know, it's different for me.
You know what, it makes a lot of sense to me. I have two examples. I might sound a little bit too extreme, but that was my choice. So one time it was we were like I'm trying my best to eat as healthy as possible, you know, to everything. And I was vegan for a year. Now I'm like I had only some tuna and some eggs on my diet, but mostly it's like a vegan diet. And when I was improving my diet, and I had a decision to improve my diet every single day, and I was out with the friends, and we went somewhere. And on the way back, it was a fast food place. So I don't want to name it, big chain or worldwide. So it was a fast food place, and we made the stop over there. So everybody got the burgers, and they said to me, "Hey, Angelo, are you gonna get any burgers?" I say, "No, I don't want to." He says, "But you haven't eaten anything like us, you know, for the last 3-4 hours." He says, "You must be hungry." I say, "I'm hungry, but I'm not gonna get any burgers." And they say, "Why, man?" And I say, "I don't want to get any burgers because I respect my body, so I don't want to give it to me." I was very honest, you know. I might sound extreme to them, you know, you respect your body and all this kind of stuff, but I was honest, you know. I say, I respect my body, no offense to you that you're eating the burgers, but I don't want it. And it was a big thing all around this group, like why I wasn't eating burgers, and I had to buy burgers, and I'm ruining the mood of the company and all this kind of stuff, and I was a bad guy. And oh my God, Angelo's not eating, and now everybody feels bad because Angelo's not eating, and we're eating burgers, and now you're all alone in the corner. You're not eating, like a whole thing. And you know, you have to stay on what you believe and what you're trying to do, because the influence is never gonna stop. You're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna try to do 10 burpees, and somebody might come to you, you're gonna say, "Man, just relax, you're going too much," or "Why are you doing burpees? You could do something else," or with a diet. And another thing, it was I had a conversation when I was fully vegan, right? Full vegan. And I had a conversation with somebody, and it was telling me about the Champions League. You know, every Tuesday, Wednesday, there are games, you know, and everybody's eating pizzas, everybody's eating like a gyro from Greece, and the fries and meat and all this kind of stuff. So they were telling me, let's say it's Tuesday, and you have a Champions League game, and we're in the house with with friends and all this kind of stuff. What are you gonna eat? I say, I don't know. If I have something cooked, I'm gonna eat whatever I cooked, or I might make like a vegan sandwich or something. He says, "You're not gonna eat pizza or fries?" And I say, "No." And he says, "Come on, it's Champions League and no fries and no pizza or whatever." I say, "Why have to eat pizza and fries while the Champions League is playing?" He says, "Because that's how it is." I said, "That's how it is for who? Who made it?" I said, "That's the tradition, man. You have to eat it." And I say, "No, I'm not gonna eat it." He says, "Then you're gonna ruin the mood." I say, "What mood?" That I have to eat. I have to eat like bad on the Champions League game, and he said, "You don't understand." I say, "No, you don't understand." And I gave this example, and I want your opinion too. And whoever listens, I want the comments from this one. And I said this one: we have, for example, we pick 100 foods, 100 plates, right? From the 100, one is the one I pick, the lentils. I want to eat lentils while I'm watching Real Madrid against I don't know, Chelsea against Manchester City on the finals. So I pick lentils. What's your problem, man? There's another 99. Like I can pick. I choose this one because this is what I want. Yeah, like this is my choice.
Yeah.
And it says no, you have to pick the specific one. Like I say, but I have 100 choices, right? I can eat anything. But I say this is what I like. And whatever. That was the whole thing of the outside influence of how some people like the same United States here. I learned it, at least anyway. I wasn't saying it back in Greece. The same misery loves company.
Yes.
And
so
all these people probably, they want to feel accepted by when they eat pizza. Maybe I'm gonna eat lentils. Maybe they're gonna feel bad they're eating pizza while I'm eating lentils. So they want you to be the same. So they're gonna feel.
I think it's the other way. I think it's the other way. Do you know what? It really makes me laugh. Why does it matter to someone else what I'm eating? It doesn't matter. What's the problem? Like what you just said then. Literally, this past weekend was my niece's birthday, and it was also my brother's birthday just before that. So we had a little joint gathering, and they were having barbecue food. So they had these lamb shanks, and they had burgers, and they had hot dogs, and then after that they had the cake that we'd baked and all this sort of stuff. And I turned up with my little pot of oats. And when they were sat down eating burgers, and my parents were there eating burgers, my two brothers were eating burgers, everyone was eating burgers and chips and cake. And I just put my oats in the microwave, and I made my oats, and I chopped up a banana and I put my fruit in it, and we were just sat there. And it's got to a point now where they expect that of me anyway. And really, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I mean, why?
Yeah.
But they people can't let it go, and people become obsessed with what you're eating, and then they allow that to ruin what they're eating somehow. I don't know how that works. And it works the same with this is another problem we've got as well, because obviously food is completely underrated as far as things like, alcohol, drugs, cigarettes. Food is completely just underrated as far as how unhealthy it can be. And because there's such a variety and there's with alcohol, it's either alcohol or it isn't. With cigarettes, it's either cigarettes or it isn't. With drugs, it's either drugs or it isn't. With food, the bad food is mixed in with the good food. So it's all just food. It's all just considered to be food. It's not like, things like, refined sugars and things like that. We know through scientific research that they're not very good for you. And that doesn't, I'm not saying that I don't eat them. I do eat them. I've got a real weakness for chocolate and sweets and things like that. So I actively try to avoid them, because at the same time, the chances are I'd probably be quite partial to crack and and heroin. If I tried heroin once, the chances are I'd probably want it again. But you've got to know that this isn't necessarily the best thing for me. This isn't allowing my body to function at its maximum capacity. It doesn't even have to be maximum. The fact is, if you're eating a load of junk and stuff that is really unhealthy for you, you're not going to be doing yourself any favors in the long run, or even short term. The days where I do give myself a little break and it turns out, rather than to be a treat when I have things like chocolate and things like that, it ends up being actually a punishment, because it makes me feel really unwell. And when you avoid that sort of stuff for extended periods of time, when you're having healthy carbohydrates and oats and potatoes and rice, and you're having lean meat, and you're having generally healthy food, when you do go back to have that other stuff, it's almost, you can taste the difference and you can feel the impact immediately. It takes over your body straight away, and you return to that lethargic, tired, unenergetic self again. You might have a spike for a few minutes when you're running around the kitchen after you've had some chocolate, but after a few minutes that hits you hard, and it doesn't make you feel very good. But I'm not saying, obviously, that I'm not saying everyone should stop doing what they're doing. If they enjoy it, that's absolutely fine. But for me, I think, especially with nutrition and the availability and the the variety that we've got available is unbelievable. It is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not even just having a load of different types of food. You've got different companies making the same type of food, but they got a different package. So, and people have their favorites, you know, and we are spoilt for abundance with variety, especially in where you live and where I live in the UK and in the US. It's unbelievable. And I think if you look too far into it, I think you would be ashamed. You can walk around a supermarket here, and then you look at, you know, countries that are in poverty that don't have, you know, they just don't have anything available.
Yeah, so true.
And
you're going to the supermarket here. I'm sorry, and you have an aisle of just for potato chips, and it starts from where you are to how far, like how far the eye can see, and it's just two lines, right, on your right and on the left, like all the kinds of potato chips. Like you say, so many companies, so many brands, like.
And it gives people a problem. You've got this weird problem where you can't decide. You've got so many. You think, oh, you know what? I don't know which one. I don't know which one to have.
With avocado, with tomato, with pepper, with anything. Yeah, it's insane.
What shall I use to destroy my body today?
Exactly.
And the worst thing as well is the amount. We've got so much variety. Mm-hmm. It's all about. Obviously, it's all about making money. It's about money making.
Of course.
We've got so much variety, and that we have to put sell-by dates on things that aren't going to go off, but we put sell-by dates on things to make sure it's cyclical and it rotates and rotates and rotates, and we end up throwing half of it away. Mm-hmm. And even when you do decide on something, you bring it home, and the portions, you know, if you're living on your own and everything you buy serves the minimum of 4 people, you're either eating 4 people's lunch or you're throwing 3 people's lunch away. I think most people would choose to eat the whole lot, but it's unbelievable the situation we're in, and it is just money. That's all it is. And we give people all these options, and you don't need them all. I mean, if you think about it, if you had a supermarket or a shop that just sold enough for people to live healthy and survive, you'd have maybe 5 or 6 products in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd have one shelf. It is, and we get spoiled as well. We get spoiled for variety in as much as you can quite comfortably survive and thrive. In fact, you know, you'd be some of the healthiest people in history only had a handful of options, really. And you know, you just don't need it all. You just don't need it all. It's crazy. We are completely spoilt for variety, and we are, and the worst thing is sometimes you get to a point where people feel this pressure when they decide what they are going to have. They're worried about what they're not having, what they're missing out on. If you know, and then we just have it all. We'll just have it all. We'll have a bit of everything. It's mad.
Yeah, they always miss something. They always something is missing from the kitchen. Like it can be anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think as much as I've probably gone to what most people would consider I'd be the extreme end of the scale, where, you know, I have my oats and my berries and my bananas, and then I have my chicken and my sweet potatoes and my broccoli, and then I have more oats. You know, it's like a proper warrior diet, and it's weird to a lot of people, but I'm happy with that. It's nice. It's real good.
I think like you say about your oats, I think everybody knows about my lentils since the beginning.
Exactly.
Since the beginning of the podcast and the WhatsApp group and the live workouts and whatever. Yeah, lentils is my favorite thing. I do them 100% every week. Lentils and oats and salads, you know, kale, spinach, and all this kind of stuff. It's some stuff that I cannot ever give up anymore. It's just.
That's it. I think it gets me through the day. I mean, you probably use your lentils the same way I use my oats. I mean, I burn a lot of calories. I exercise hard. I work.
Oh man, like a huge bowl, like it's a huge bowl of brown rice and lentils. You know, mix them all together, and I'm all set for.
But it's quite lucky though, because if I didn't have that, I'd still need to be. I need to be filling that void with something. And you know, I can't imagine I would find something anywhere near as healthy. I mean, rice is, you know, rice is good. Sweet potatoes for me. That's
oh man, the best, the best
every day. Apart from my pizza night, it's sweet potatoes
and it's pizza. And pizza.
So your lentils is quite famous. My pizza night. I mean, I have two homemade pizza nights a week, and it's all factored in. You know, it's yeah.
I started advertising my lentils. That's why, you know, you're not advertising your pizza yet. You have to post it.
No, I did. I think I did. I posted on my stories on Instagram my last pizza, and
yeah, I saw it. The pizza night.
I'm one of those pineapple on pizza kind of guys, which is quite controversial in the pizza world. So yeah, if you share that.
Man, you know what it's so random. You know what you remind me? I remember it was a guy. It was you know, it was the first time he was getting a pizza, and he asked me for some reason, and he says to me, "Do you believe pineapple belongs on the pizza?"
And I say, what did you say?
And I said to him, man, who do you think I am to tell you if the pineapple belongs on the pizza? I say, if you like it, eat it, man. Just have it. Yes.
People, that's another thing that people get really upset about. It's like, well, it's not. Oh, how could you have pineapple on a pizza? I said, well, it's not yours. You don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. You don't have to. You don't have to worry about it. Listen,
this isn't your problem.
You eat lentils. You eat lentils every week. I say, yeah. So why has to be your problem?
I'll tell you what as well. He just reminded me the going back to the alcohol thing as well. Now, it used to be. I used to have quite a lavish lifestyle when I was younger. I used to drink. I'm gonna say too much. I used to drink too much, and I had a relationship with alcohol, which, you know, I was just doing what everyone else around me was doing. So it was a lot of partying, like all the time party, every night partying, and I'd be drinking every night, and, you know, drinking quite heavily. And it got to a point where I grew out of that, and I didn't want to do that anymore, because that wasn't making me feel good. I got to a point where I wanted to feel good rather than, you know, feel like I was having a good time. And also, I got to a point where, especially when I met Claire, I would consider it to be lucky that I've met someone that I wanted to change for as well, because obviously, yeah, the road I was going down was the opposite of healthy. It was you know, it was a disaster waiting to happen, really. But it got to a point where I got that under control, and I stopped drinking, and you know, I don't not drink now. So at Christmas I'll have a few drinks with the family and things like that, but I don't drink. Generally speaking, I just don't drink alcohol. So yeah. You're full of faces at me, man. You can't do that. So anyway.
Sorry.
So
yes.
So like I was saying.
I apologize.
That's fine. It got to a point where I had got that under control, because it was out of control, and I just stopped drinking. So now, social gatherings 9 times out of 10, I don't know if it's the same there, but in the UK they would occur at a bar. We would convene at a bar, and we'd have social gatherings, whether it was a birthday party or something like that. And it gets to a point where, when people say, you know, do you want to drink? I say, no, I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking. And then every time it'll be, why not? And I don't really drink anymore. I'm fine as I am. And then they say, well, surely you could just have one. They're like completely missing the point. So, well, why would I just have one alcoholic beverage? I don't need that one. I mean, some people like the taste, but I was never drinking because it tasted nice. As I was drinking to get off my face and get absolutely hammered. But just having that attitude of, it's the same as when you offer someone, like, say, you know, I bought a load of biscuits, or, you know, or cakes or chocolate bars or something like that. Or, you know, you just have one. One might make a difference, but it's what that leads to, and it's the whole principle of the thing, and the fact that I don't need that one. I don't want that one. I don't, you know, people seem to have this thing where you're the one who's being awkward if you don't join in, you know, and it's a weird culture of almost forcing your what you consider to be normality on other people. But I think it's because of that herd mentality thing where this is what we do. This is what we as a species do. We get together and we drink and we eat. But I think, that's fine. But then it's no coincidence that when you get that herd, usually it's a huge percentage of the population that stay where they are, and then a few are able to move away from that, and that's up to you. And then sometimes when you do start doing quite well for yourself, and you're no longer an alcoholic and you're no longer obese, and people sort of start judging you as if you've changed. Oh, yeah, I have changed, actually. Yeah,
exactly.
Because I wasn't happy with who I was, so that was up to me, and I've changed. And some people hold that against you as if you're different. You're not the same as you used to be. And then you almost want to go, yeah, well, you are the same. You know what I mean?
I like what you say, because it's so funny when you start eating different, then they're telling you, oh, why do you don't eat pizza? Then when you don't eat pizza and you start working out, they're telling you, oh, why don't you get some rest? Why do you work out? Then when you're getting into different mindset, you start changing your body and mind and everything, they're getting to the point, oh, you've changed. And then the more you change, and you're changing your habits, and you get higher and higher and higher. And they're telling you maybe like, oh, you're not the Angelo you used to be. You're a totally different person. Like, and the answer is yes, of course. You're a different person, because like I wanted to say before about the food,
you want to say thank you.
Exactly. Thank you for noticing, and thank you for telling me I've changed and I have progress. And on the
thank you. That was the plan.
Yeah, exactly. That was the plan to change.
Yeah, you've changed. Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, I'm glad you noticed. Yeah, I have been working really hard on that, actually. But to see that as a negative thing is quite bizarre.
They're gonna see the negative people. They're gonna see everything negative, no matter what, no matter how you're gonna change, and they're gonna see positivity to you only if you remain negative.
Yeah, we know. We've sussed it. We've sussed out the whole system. You're listening to the Shaped by Gods podcast. Okay, let's get back to our regular. Let's get back. I'm not doing that. I'm not having that. That's not good enough. Okay, let's return to. No, not return. We haven't been there yet.
It's time for the workout of the week.
Thank you. I was drowning there and you saved me. It's workout of the week time.
Workout of the week.
Yes, here we go. Time for workout of the week. We've covered a lot of workouts of the week. In fact, we've covered so many workouts of the week that I'm losing track of the ones we haven't done. So this week we're doing one that we definitely haven't done before, and it's an interesting one that I have not done for a long time, and there is a good reason why I haven't done it for a long time. And I chose this one because I wondered if a lot of people had the same experience with this one as I did. So this week, Aries, we're doing Aries. Is Aries the god of war?
God of war, but he I think he died from Kratos. He got slayed from Kratos, so I think Kratos is the god of war.
Yeah. He didn't die because he went too fast down a hill on a bike.
No. Oh, he died from the too many burpees.
Too many burpees. He died from
too many pull-ups. Too many pull-ups.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing with Aries, right? Okay. So a lot of the Freeletics God workouts, I'm going to use the word convenient. I mean, they're not easy, they're not fun, but I would say they were convenient. You either need a mat and a pull-up bar, or you need a pull-up bar, just a pull-up bar, or you just need a mat. With Aries, it's one of the ones where, as far as
you also need a place to run. You need a mat, a pull-up bar, and a place to run.
Exactly. So there's only a few things that at its most minimalistic, Freeletics requires. That was enough space to have your workout mat, a pull-up bar, and now this one you need 40 meters. Now I don't know where you live in your house. I haven't got 40 meters. I haven't got.
I barely have two.
I haven't got to. I haven't got to. You know. Sometimes when you do when you get workouts like Kentoros, or however you say it, where you've got to do your burpee frog jumps or whatever. But burpee froggers.
Yeah,
so you do your burpee and then you do your
burpee
jump.
frogs.
So with those, it says like 2 times 20 meters, right? Which adds up to 40 meters in total. But for me, I can do 1 in the most space I've got in my flat. I can do 1. So I have to do backwards and forwards 40. I gotta do those forwards, and I get really dizzy. So with Aries, you need a pull-up bar, you need your mat, and you need 40 meters to sprint. So it's got 5 rounds. Each round is 7 pull-ups, 7 sit-ups, 2 times 40 meter sprint, and then a 60-second rest. And you've got to do that 5 times. I can remember doing this one because at the time I was using a door frame pull-up bar. And when you do the sit-ups at the time as well, I also had, I didn't have the best mat in the world, which is the Freeletics official mat. And that is an official review from me. They are such good mats. But I may be biased, but they're so good. And so I didn't want to do the sit-ups outside because of the hard floor, and on my spine it wasn't comfortable. So I would have to go from the door frame doing the pull-ups, and it's 7 pull-ups, and then I would have to get to the mat on the floor and do the 7 sit-ups, and then I would have to leave the house and I would sprint up and down.
Imagine the neighbors. See, why the guy's coming out like random times? You have to do it 5 times, right? 5 times you have to get out and disappear after and keep going to work.
It's almost like, the neighbor's going for a run again, but he must have forgotten something. And he's got
for 5. 5 times.
So
I forgot my watch. I forgot my water. I forgot my mat.
It just looked crazy. And the other thing was as well, my drive was 40 meters long. So at the time, so we had the lady upstairs owned the front garden, we owned the back garden. So I would run from our door to the end of the drive and back. So it was long enough. But anyone that was walking past, I would sprint to the end of the drive, and they would be walking and they would stop to let me out, and then I'd turn around and run back. and I'd have to do that. And I got to a point with it where I was kind of hoping someone was walking past so I could do this with. I'd be like proper crazy face sprinting at them, and just wearing a pair of shorts and trainers. And I think I must have scared a few people, and a few times as well. This happened quite a lot, actually. So I lived in a village in the middle of nowhere, and I was between 2 main towns. So if any incidents happened in one town, the police station was in one town. If any incident happened in another one, then the police would have to come past our house. So we got police cars going there quite a lot. So every time I was doing any Freeletics workout that had the sprint, and I ran to the end of the drive and a police car drove past, I would turn around and run away. It must have looked, the amount of times I thought they're going to think I've just done something really dodgy. I've run to the.
You're not away from the police.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a time when I was a kid where a friend of mine, I was a kid. It was just a friend of mine, and we were running. We were literally running to his house, and the police saw us go up these steps behind a shop, and they pulled us over. We just got to outside his house, and they pulled us over, and they stopped us, and they said, why they said, what are you doing? And we said, we're running. He said, well, where are you running to? Home. And they said, well, why were you running? And my mate went, to get there quicker. but just from running, they pulled us over, and then another police car turned up, and then a riot van with dogs turned up. I don't know what they thought we were doing, but but that always crossed my mind when I was running to the end of my drive, seeing a police car, turning around and running back, and all I was doing was my set reps, and it must have looked so dodgy that just to get to that point where I got to their full sprint and then just turned around immediately. So yeah, with Aries, you need the space, you need the pull-up bar, you need the sit-ups space, and you need that sprint, and then you get a 60-second rest. So I think what it is good for is it's good for anyone who's just making progress with their pull-ups. So if you've got to that point where you haven't got that 10 rep yet, but you've got your 7 reps, you know, or even if it's 7 is, you know, high end for you, you can get a few reps in and then take a rest off the bar and then get back on. The sit-ups, you know, 7 sit-ups for me, that seems, I mean, when you think about things like Dion, where it's 50 reps sit-ups, and you know, 7 sit-ups has got to be manageable, right?
Or Aphrodite with a 50.
Exactly. Yeah. So and then for the 2 times 40 meter sprint. So if you are someone who is new to Freeletics, you're just starting out, and you've got some progress to make, maybe you're trying to lose some weight, or you're trying to, you know, get yourself in better shape, Aries is a great one to start with, I think, because at your own pace, you know, as much as some people struggle with pull-up, if you can't do pull-ups, have a go at Aries and replace that with something, but getting those 7 sit-ups,
jumping pull-ups or resistance band you can use, or one at a time, you know, just do 1 pull-up weight. You don't have to do on any workout, you don't have to do the repetitions without break, or if you take breaks, something happen, you just take it on your own pace, you know, you just finish it anytime you can.
That's right. And I think if you're just new to exercise, being able to do 5 rounds, and it's something that even going into the workout, looking at something that says 7 sit-ups rather than 50 sit-ups, you know, you can break that down. It breaks it down for you with the 5 rounds, and it's definitely manageable. And 2 times 40 meter sprint is, with Freeletics, if it says sprint, you're going as fast as you can. And if that isn't very fast, then just give it your all. Just go as fast as you can, and do your best.
Exactly.
And then you get that 60-second rest. It is a fun one, actually, Aries. I do remember the joy. It was a time where, as well, I used to put my children to bed and then do my workout. So trying not to make too much noise with the door as I opened it and shut it, and doing that one in winter as well was quite tough, because you'd have to have your shoes on for the sprint and perhaps take them off when you get in to do the pull-ups, and then, you know, come in soaking wet, and you'd have to maybe put your coat on. But yeah, it's a fun one to do. It's definitely fun, and I think it's a good one to do if you're going to do a group workout. You're going to join, you know, say you were in a park environment or something like that had a few places to do pull-ups, and it's quite a fun one to do as a team. I think that one.
Yeah. I think this one, it's one of the best workouts to do outside.
I think so, yeah. Can you imagine holding an event where it was a race, where, say, you know, you got to a point where, you know, you and your friends were quite competitive with Freeletics, and you were in good shape? This would be a really good race, and it's actually quite a good all-rounder. Perhaps we could create a little event around that. As much as, I mean, Freeletics is good because you get your PB and it records your time, but to actually do it real time, you know, almost with a stopwatch going, you know, to have a group of people doing the same workout at the same time, and then having a finish line, because it does finish on the you could almost set it up after that final round on round 5. Once you finish that 2 times 40 meter sprint, you could almost have a finish line, and you could gauge that. As long as you started at the same time, you can actually see people's progress and things. That'd be really cool. Say, for example, if you ran because obviously the world is opening up, people are getting back to being able to go outside in some countries, so which means we can start doing our group training again. So that's not a bad one, like once a month, maybe, if you had an Aries competition where everyone can gauge how they are, and, you know, it'd be quite a fun race to hold, I think.
Yeah, it's a very nice workout.
Aries.
It's a very nice workout.
Yeah, Aries, Freeletics workout of the week. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I can remember it well. Right. there we go. That wraps up another episode of the Shaped by Gods podcast. It's been a bit of a blast today. I think I need to get my head around the way life is going at the moment, and I need to stop crashing into things, and I need to be a little bit more careful.
Keep wearing your helmet.
Oh man, I'm so accident prone at the moment. I'm just a disaster. I'm a walking disaster. And I think it's a combination of having so much going on and fatigue and all that sort of stuff, and making stupid decisions at stupid times. So I've survived a week. My phone hasn't survived the week, but I have. I'm going to keep wearing that helmet. I might start wearing it to bed because
you never know, you're going to fall off the bed.
Something's going to happen. Something's going to happen to me, man. Yeah. Thank you very much, Angelo. It's been great to speak to you again.
Thank you, Oli.
I hope your week continues to be whatever. I forgot what I was going to say.
I hope you wake
up.
I'm
tired. Yeah. Yeah.
Great week.
I hope you wake up tomorrow.
Yeah. Me too. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope so.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm going to try and arrange a little Aries event. I think that's quite a cool one to do. It's quite manageable for people. I think it's such a good workout. Let's do that. Let's arrange an Aries event.
Let's make an event.
It's definitely one to do outside. That's a hard one to share on Zoom. That's not a Zoom one. That's not a Zoom workout. Although Snow does a lot of running, right?
A lot of running.
Yeah, she did a lot of running.
Yeah.
And she would always join in with the group, even though she was running, which is quite difficult to do. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope everyone's enjoyed this week's episode. And wear a helmet, guys. Don't do stupid things. And keep on top of, and eat what you want. It's up to you.
Eat whatever you like. Champions League, you can have lentils or pizzas or popcorn or apples or bananas or avocados. I don't know.
Yeah, but you'll never see at halftime during the Champions League. You'll never see an advertisement for lentils. That's how it works. That's how it works. What do you see? You see advertisement for pizza, fast food, and beer. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So true.
We'll start a campaign. I think we'll save up millions of pounds, and we'll put a lentils advert on at halftime during the Super Bowl.
We're gonna call it Lentils for Champions.
Lentils for Champions. Yes. Yeah, we're going mental for lentils, man. Oh yeah. Right. On that crazy note, thank you very much, everybody, for listening. I hope you had as much fun as I've had. I'm still. I'm starting to wonder if that helmet didn't do the job that I thought it did.
I hope so. I mean, thank you for coming, everybody. This is Oli. Oh no, this is Angelo.
Yeah, I've said some questionable things since that incident this week. I've been a little bit crazy. Right. Have a great week, my friend. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Get in touch with us if you want to get in touch with us. If you don't, then I wouldn't bother about it.
Exactly. Just keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
You do you. Bye.